In this video, I'm going to teach you how I scale dropshipping stores from 0 to 10K a day on autopilot. And after watching this free course, you should be 100% confident in making money with your own dropshipping store. This is going to be an advanced video, but if there is one guide you're going to look back on that absolutely changed your life, it's going to be this one. Just like I'm trying to do with this store right here, which is currently running at like 6,000 euros a day, which is a bit more in USD. If we break this store down from launch, which I don't even remember when it is, but let's say the past like 2 months alone, we can see that the store was started the 15th of May, scaled it all the way up to a peak of 8.2 thousand euros a day. It collapsed a little bit, still sitting at a 5% conversion rate, which is super high. And I'm currently in the process of scaling this thing to the moon. Here's another store where the exact same thing was done. It was struggling at $150 to $250 a day. I scaled it all the way from here up to 3.5 thousand euros at its best day ever. And if we break it down from, we can even say the last 12 months, as this is a long time brand, you can see that this thing was super dead. And this is probably how your store is looking too. After you implement what I'm teaching in this video, it's gonna be flying straight up like this, and you're finally gonna be able to make money with your store. So welcome to the full guide of scaling to 10K a day with dropshipping. This course is a full mastery on scaling your dropshipping store, which is gonna include Facebook ad mastery, creative optimizations, how to make ads so good people just have to pay you, and we're also gonna talk about suppliers and automation. My goal with this course is simple: to show the entire operation, all the secrets, and over-deliver so that you feel 100% confident in doing this yourself. No paywall, just the actual info for free. But not only that, I also want to show you what it's like running an e-commerce business on this level. So here we are inside of my own Facebook ads manager for the exact store I just showed you that was doing up to 8,000 euros a day. And you will be surprised how stupidly simple this is. So if we look at this campaign right here, let's actually go ahead and break down our columns as well by ROAS. So you can see also if the campaign is even profitable. You can see that for every dollar we spend, this is what ROAS means, we get 2.44 back. So it's definitely profitable. The campaign is spending $325 a day. It has made 166 purchases. Now here's what is laughable crazy. This entire campaign has nothing inside of it. It is all completely broad. If you look inside of the ad set, there is no targeting besides the countries, but we do have one thing that makes this campaign stand out so much, and that's the fact that we have a ton of videos inside of it. So the way this store was scaled was actually quite simple. It all started with basic testing campaigns with everything broad just to find the winning creative, okay? So what we have done is we have loaded up so many different creatives that we're testing every single day, and it was only when I could find my winning creative that things actually blew up for me. So I started running a lot of campaigns like the one you see right here. Inside of here you see that we have different creatives, and what we can see if we look at that is that some give us profit and others give us loss. So when you start your first campaign on Facebook, you're actually just going to go completely broad. That is how I did for this exact one. And then you're just going to publish it like this. You're going to put as many videos as possible under your ad set. So that could, for example, be 10, okay? And then what you are going to do throughout the next week is you are going to start cutting the ads that don't perform. So in this case, for example, this video ad has a 63 euros cost per purchase. That is definitely not making me profitable at all. If we look at the ROAS, it's 1.22. It is around break even, I think a little bit under. It spent 63, only got one sale. That is not a good creative. What you can see here is that we are basically just looking for that one winning creative, and anything that isn't performing, like for example, this one, because we have spent a lot there. If the creatives is not making sales, I am just cutting it. So what I end up doing is running a campaign with only my best videos. So you can see, let's say, these that I have checked here are the only ones making sales. I'm gonna duplicate them over into a new campaign, okay? So let's just call it new. And this will be my killer campaign. I have now tested so many creatives in new campaigns until I found the winning one. And then all I do is I duplicate it over into a brand new campaign. I leave everything broad and it absolutely starts printing. I will start a campaign at as little as $50 a day. Then I'm going to be working my way up to 60, 80, 100, 120, and so goes on, increasing it a little bit every day until I hit a plateau. Okay, so here is how I do scale once I hit a plateau. As soon as I have a winning ad set, I'm actually just going to go ahead and clone it. Because if this one is sitting on 166 purchases with a 2.4 in ROAS, there is a high chance that if I just make a copy of it, we leave everything the exact same, then why isn't that gonna work if our other worked, right? So every ad set that does good, I'm just duplicating, and we're stacking more and more of these. And then inside of the new ad set, we can also add some new videos, we can delete some of the old ones. But what Facebook is about now is really horizontal scaling. It's very simple. Any creatives that don't perform, just go here, click the button and turn them off, and then leave the ones that perform running, and Facebook is going to give the money towards them. Other than that, the way we scale up this rapidly is usually just by budget increase, because if you have an ad set that is profitable, like let's say this one at 2.44, why not run it at $1,000? That's going to make us 2.4 back. Why not run it at 5,000? That's going to make us like 15 or 12 back or something. And even on your lower budget, if you're making $50, well, it's profit, go ahead and increase the budget on it. Not all system around this store is brutal. Just look at all of these creatives. We got 100 here. As you can see here, we are testing a lot of creatives, and many of these are actually quite similar. And that's what it takes to succeed on Facebook. Like, all of this are probably going to end up going up today. The way I prevent my ads from dying and making my store long-term and consistent is by putting in loads of more creatives every single week. Today, I will probably test 5 to 10 new creatives, and by doing this, my store has super consistent days. If you look at this store, for example, here, we had an issue with the ad account, like it was not able to add more money to it. So this is actually not a real drop, that was just us miscalculating. If you look at the store, it's super even. It's only really going up. It doesn't have any rapid drops. And the reason for that is because I'm pumping out creatives. If I was relying on only one creative, like you are probably doing most of the time, or you have 2 or 3 that's doing all the job, you are one bad day away from your entire business collapsing. So every day we are creating new campaigns where we are testing new videos, and then we take the videos that do good, we duplicate our winning ad set, and we mix it all together. We tie them all together. So you can take winning videos from this campaign and put them into another one. Now, in case you're feeling information overload, just stick with me here, okay? I understand that this is quite advanced stuff, but I promise you, you're gonna learn something that's gonna help you so much in the future. And even if you don't understand everything I'm telling you, it goes straight into the subconscious, and you're going to use this to make your first 10K day. Now, here are some simple and actionable rules for cutting campaigns and ad sets. The checklist, let's call it. If you have an ad set with below a 2% click-through rate, cut. If you have a CPC above 1.5, cut. No serious progress the last 3 days, meaning no actual sales. It's not really going anywhere. It's just froze or fell up. Cut that shit. No sales after $20 spent, unless your product is super high ticket. If you gotta spend $20 to acquire a sale, it ain't worth it. Below break-even ROAS, cut that shit as well. We are trying to be profitable. Anything that's losing us money, we're not gonna spend our time on. That's how dropshipping stores end up making $1 million, but 0 in profit. It's because they don't cut their losses. Do not emotionally hold on to ad sets or campaigns. If your product and ads don't naturally work, stop it, take a step back, and re-optimize. Maybe there's an issue with your creatives. Maybe they are dying out and you need to try something new, some new hooks, some new people. Maybe there's an issue with your offer. Maybe you need to re-optimize your website. So if you look inside our ad set, we can usually see that if the click-through is low, it's also losing us a lot of money. This one has a $19 cost per purchase. It has double the click-through of this one, but yet this one is 3 times more expensive. We spent 66 euros to get one purchase, okay? And that's just because our click-through is super high. Because here's what happens, man. When your click-through is very low, in many cases, your cost per click goes through the roof. These 2 metrics are usually tied together. So once again, here you can see that our click-through is so low, that our cost per click is so high, we can't pay 1.84 euros to get a fucking sale. That is not worth it. So this ad set obviously has to be cut. It is losing us loads of money. And if we look at the ROAS, it's sitting at 1.10. It will potentially in the future be the same with this one as well. Super low click-through. And if this store wanted to double their sales, we would all start with the click-through rate. Listen, if this click-through rate was 4% instead of 2, the cost per purchase would be $9. The sales would be double. The profit would be double. Your profit is usually tied to your click-through, because the higher your click-through, the more visitors you get. So the logical thing to do on this store is, as it's already being done, testing a lot of creatives. Because there's a reason to why stores like this that are printing 28K in a day, 23K in a day, just falls down like this, all the way down to 1.8K in a day, That's insane, and it always comes down to your creatives dying out, and that's why I just can't stress it enough that we have to test a ton of them. Another thing that's important when you are growing your store is to have proper tracking. Like on this campaign, for example, you can see that the revenue was $29,000, but that's actually not the truth. And by using the tracking software Hyros, I recovered $12,000. That is actually more than 30% of sales that Facebook don't miss. So going back to this account, if it wasn't set up with Hyros, there is a chance that our sale wouldn't track. So let's say that we have 2 sales in this one, right? The sale doesn't track, or cost per purchase is now 40 because it only tracked 1 sale, and we will be scaling with inaccurate data. For this, we use Hyros, which is a tracking software that integrates with your store without you having to make any changes to your business. And the whole point of the software is to get correct tracking. There is no way in 2025 that you're going to scale to the moon without having good trackings for your store. You're going to be having inaccurate data. And when you look at the stores like this, if we want to push this to 200K a month or anything remotely close to that, we're gonna have to have the right data. So the first thing I do is broad campaigns with loads of creatives testing every single day. The second thing I do is to get Hyros on top of it to make sure that everything is tracked. Now, if any of you are looking to scale or just running Facebook ads in general, you have to get Hyros. In my opinion, your success rate 30% more likely because it tracks the sales that you're missing, which, believe it or not, is around 30%. So I will link Hyros in the description as one of the tools that I use. Make sure that you get it. Another thing we did to scale up to 8K a day was to test different offers. And had we not done that and cracked the right one, this success would have never happened. It's important that whenever you test a product, always take a step back and check your conversion rate. If it's under 3.4%, something can be improved. In 80% of cases, lies in your offer. Is there even a reason for your customer to buy? Are you winning and fueling your pockets, or is he actually getting a good deal? So we tested the following things. Buy one, get one free. Zero demand for this, didn't really make sense for the product because the one we did go for actually worked. Bundles, it was stable. We used this all the way from 3 to 5K a day, but it really wasn't anything crazy. We also tried a small PDF guide to help boost energy, but there was no interest around that. And we did all of this until we encountered a much more simple offer. Buy one upfront for a normal price, but subscribe to get a cheap every single month refill. So let's say the product costs $40 upfront for your customer and the supplier gives it to me for $12. That would be $28 profit for a sale. But when you try out the offer, you see that it doesn't work. So instead, I made it a no-brainer where they buy it as a subscription for $19 a month. And since the product cost me $12, I'm now profiting $9 a month from every single customer, assuming they don't cancel. And if you do a great subscription that is actually valuable, the customer is not going to cancel. I'm now making $40 upfront for the product and $7 a month profit from each one of them. Now, I'm not really doing this to fuel my pocket because it's only $7, but if you have 10,000 customers a month, that's actually 70,000. I'm doing this because it makes the offer a no-brainer. You pay $40, let's say, to join and get the product your first time, but then after that, you're only paying $19 a month to get free refills. That is an absolute steal of a deal. Now, this is actually a part of my course, which I'm working on right now. It's going to be released very soon. It's not actually a course. It's a full training program designed to be the best in the industry. If you want to learn this from me, who is actively doing this, I'm going to drop a wait list as the first link in the description. Make sure you head there and sign up because I'm going to give the best deal that I can possibly do to the people who are early. And this is going to be just insane. Like, I know this program is just going to change so many lives. Until then, I also do one-on-one mentorship. So if you want to learn from me personally, send me a message on Instagram right here. But anyways, the way that I found my own offers is I tested a couple of different angles to a broad page. I found out who my audience is. I then re-optimized my page and I then had a winning product, audience, and page, right? I have the winning videos, the page, all of this. I'm going to explain more on that later. But I went into crafting the offers, okay? Because once you know who is your customer, you need to craft the actual offer. So for example, for this product, right, which is a workout thing that I've actually been selling, a great offer would not be 50% off, buy one, get one free or bundles. It just doesn't make sense. So a good offer could be product plus app plus daily notification, 30-day risk-free, no results is refund, or get $29 of equipment with your purchase, kind of similar to what we did with the other store. These offers actually make it worth it to the customer. So don't rush results. You need to work on your back end and always be asking questions. Why is my conversion rate 3%? Would I trust my own website if I was the customer? Is there a way that I can make more sales? But anyways, on to something else. How do we fulfill 5,000 plus orders a week without losing our mind? So obviously this is the boring stuff, right? The back end, the lame things that no YouTuber talks about because they don't dropship, right? They just sell you courses. Or maybe because they don't have it dialed in. This shipping stuff is a little bit tricky, but it doesn't have to be. And this is an absolute make it or break it part of your e-commerce business. So let me teach you how we do it. When you first start scaling on your own store, just use a fulfillment center. You can use SendDrop, you can use AutoDS, you can use Commercive. It really doesn't matter, but once you get up to 20 to 30 sales a day, this is when you want to get your own private supplier. Now, that can actually be accessed through the platforms. Inside of, for example, AutoDS or SendDrop, you can message the different suppliers and get their WhatsApp. But another way to get private supplying is by making a post in a Facebook group saying, hey, I'm doing 20 orders a day. I need to get this exact product sourced, or actually, like, don't leak your product, but we say you're making sales. I need an agent in China or a supplier who can get this product for me quickly to whatever country. You're gonna wake up to 40, 50 DMs. A lot of them is gonna be people just harassing you, like spamming you down. But there's gonna be 10 DMs who are actually serious people, okay? So you're gonna send them your product, and don't worry, they're not gonna steal it. You're gonna send them the product, and they are gonna give you a quote. So within 24 hours, they're gonna get back to you as long as you give them your product, your country. They will get back to you and tell you how it's gonna be. Usually what you do when you scale, because you're no longer using a fulfillment center, is you buy upfront. So for each product that's crushing it, you are eventually going to buy it in bulk, okay? And for one of our stores, we got an invoice for $4.5 thousand, I think it was, for 500 units. We bought it all upfront and got a much cheaper deal. When you are scaling, you gotta buy your orders upfront. But the good news is when you're starting, just run this to a fulfillment center, okay? And then once you start doing good, you make a post in a group, you find a supplier, or you message me and I'll hook you up with mine for free. So now it's time for you to start getting serious with your dropshipping store. No more gooning, no more scrolling on social media. You can actually do this. And if you follow what I teach on my channel, you're gonna make this work. I can't tell you exactly when, if it's today, tomorrow, or in a month, but it could literally happen tomorrow, or it could happen in a couple of weeks. I'm trying to teach you on this channel everything I know about dropshipping, e-commerce, Facebook ads, and try to do it with as much transparency as possible without selling you something. Like, yes, I do have a mentorship and everything, but I still want to make sure that my videos have all the info you need. And then if you want to have me help you implement it, then yes, you can join the programs. But rest assured that what you're watching here is not gatekept. This is exactly how to make money. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'm just gonna scale this shit to 10, 20, even 30K a day, and I'm gonna show it on my Instagram. So I'll see you in the next one.